This video is brought to you by AKS IAS.
Hello everyone, welcome to AKS IAS. Welcome to the session on geography through maps. As every year, even this year, we want to ensure the questions with respect to geography map based, especially about the world, will be from the videos that we are making. There are many videos available in the YouTube with respect to geography through maps, and every year we do according to the current affairs of that particular year. And when we look at the trend of UPSC is very close to our analysis of geography through maps. Last year it can be question about G20 and other international organizations which appeared in the exam. So this year we felt it is very important for us to ensure that even the questions, the way they are being asked, if we can give you some additional information about it, maybe you are in a better position to answer these questions. So even if questions come indirectly, you will be in a position to at least eliminate the wrong options and come closer to the correct one that is being given, right? So let us begin this year's geography through maps. Before I start, I just want to tell you that these videos will not be the way that we did before, where I'll take for 40-50 minutes and give you complete information about the world. That I'll do 1 month before exam with all the upgradations that are required. But as of now, for 10 to 15 minutes, let us take one issue and analyze it completely from international relations, geography, and also from internal security perspective. Today's topic that I wanted to discuss with you was with respect to Quad and Indo-Pacific. You are aware that there are a lot of questions nowadays, or we can say a lot of news is there about Quad and Indo-Pacific. So what exactly is this Indo-Pacific? People are mostly lost in what is happening today, but the background of it, if you can understand, there are many organizations, issues and institutions that you may have to remember and write in the exam. So when UPSC is asking you certain questions which are 5 years, 6 years, 10 years back, because of its relevance today, you can't just read newspaper of the day and think current affairs is enough. So giving you an overall perspective about the Quad and Indo-Pacific region, right? So let us begin with this topic. So guys, Quad, as you're aware, it is about the quadrilateral security dialogue between 4 important countries of the regions which calls themselves to be a very good friends: Japan, India, Australia and United States of America. But China has nowadays started speaking more about what exactly they mean to say. That is, why these small group of countries trying to focus on other countries. Is it good for the world order? Is it going to change the world order? For all this, I want you to know, after the decline of Soviet Union in 1990s, another country which started threatening economically United States of America was China. China, when it started growing economically, United States was conscious, but till the Bush era, focus was mostly on West Asia, especially about Afghanistan, Iran and Iraq. But later, with Obama's presidency, things kept on changing. Obama said we should stop the rise of China. To ensure that you stop the rise of China in international relations, there is one set of thinkers who say that you have to stop the country regionally. The meaning of this, let us say India is growing. Now when India become economically superpower, India will start focusing on countries like US and China. But if India is made to focus mostly on Pakistan, if we start worrying more about Pakistan, we will not think beyond the region. So, United States of America also decided to stop China within the Indo-Pacific region. Basically, the area which we call today as Indo-Pacific was called as Asia Pacific. Now, what exactly do you mean by Asia Pacific? You see guys, all the countries which are present in the Pacific region, they were all part of Asia Pacific. You have different organizations, forget about it, but we are talking about most of the countries which has border with this. Lot of politics were happening and the focus of United States of America was on this region. India started arguing that it should not be Asia Pacific, but it must be Indo-Pacific, including some countries of the Indian Ocean as well. When India proposed that it should not be Asia Pacific and it should be Indo-Pacific, initially certain countries were not interested. With growing closeness between India and United States, India and Australia, India and Japan, these countries have focused on Indo-Pacific. So today the term Indo-Pacific includes Indian Ocean and Pacific Ocean. But remember, anytime we say there are a group of countries present, it doesn't mean all the countries in the region are there. If they ask you Indo-Pacific means all the countries which are having border with Indian Ocean and Pacific Ocean. Is that true? No. Because some countries will be an exception, because not everyone want to be part of these issues. But the entire thing here is United States of America want to ensure that China will be focusing mostly in the Indo-Pacific region and China should not grow beyond that. For that, US had its own policies. But before that, to counter China, we need to understand the strengths and weaknesses of China, which is where many of these organizations have been set up. So to begin with, it is believed that if you have to reach China, you need to pass through this particular region. So let us see, called as Strait of Malacca. If you cross this Strait of Malacca, you will enter into, see this Strait of Malacca, first of all, for prelims, is present in between Malaysia and Sumatra Islands of Indonesia. Strait of Malacca is present in between Malaysia and Sumatra Island of Indonesia. Right? Now, once you come out of this, from the Strait of Malacca, you will enter into South China Sea. Can you see here? From South China Sea, you will go to China. Just imagine if the Strait of Malacca is not there, Chinese have to go around Australia and go. Even though there is this Sunda Strait, right? Lombok Strait, even this can be asked. Sunda Strait is in between Java and Sumatra. Lombok Strait, Lombok Islands, right? Very, very important. But these are not enough for the big ships to move. So, China is also planning to cut in this particular part. See, if I have to go to China, I need to go through Strait of Malacca. Correct. If this is blocked by anyone, then I have to go around Australia. So this fear of China's over dependency on Strait of Malacca is called as Malacca dilemma. What is it called? Malacca dilemma. To overcome this Malacca dilemma, China is trying to have a canal here called Kra Channel, where they want to cut it, or their plan is to extend the Sunda Strait and Lombok Strait and come into this region. But China is not having very good relations with the countries having border in this region. First, let us see the countries which has border with the South China Sea. Can you check here? Taiwan, China, Taiwan, Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, correct? Little bit of Singapore, Vietnam. They all have border with what we call as South China Sea. And guys, China in its crooked manner is trying to say that this entire South China Sea belongs to them. They are not even sharing with others. They try to argue that this entire South China Sea belongs to me. For example, you see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Can you see China is saying that through this 9 dashed line, please understand this term, 9 dashed line, China tries to say that entire South China Sea belongs to them. They are claiming Paracel Islands, Spratly Islands, Scarborough Shoals, where Philippines had claimed it is theirs. They went to international courts, and the international courts has told that China, your claim is wrong. You have to give it back to Philippines. But China has abandoned international organizations, and today it is saying that this entire region belongs to China. So China is telling this is theirs. Vietnam, Philippines, Brunei, Malaysia and other countries, they are against China. So China has created its own enemies. India is going good with Vietnam. India is going good with Philippines. You might have heard India is selling BrahMos missile to Philippines. Secondly, India has very, very good relations with Vietnam. I just want you people to know that our relationship with one Philippines, another one with Vietnam is threatening China. So US is also trying to make good relations with countries in the region so that they can counter China. So India and US are trying to support enemies of China in this region. You might have heard in Quad, all the countries have agreed that navigation must be easier in Indo-China region. What is the meaning of that? If any country has to pass through these, right? China says through these 9 dash line, this entire region belongs to me. No one can go through this without my permission. So when China is claiming this entire region, Quad is arguing that this is absolutely wrong. You should never ever allow one country dominance, and every country in the region should be allowed to navigate easily. So that was this particular issue. In prelims, they may ask you 9 dash line is a dispute in which sea? Which is that? It is your South China Sea. Some of the islands they may give you and ask you where these are located. Paracel Islands, Spratly Islands and Scarborough Shoal. These are some of the things with respect to what we call as 9 dash line and South China Sea dispute. Repeatedly you might have seen this in your mains, but I'm just trying to tell you from prelims perspective. Then if we observe the next important area, that is East China Sea. China shares border with East China Sea, where along with China, South Korea, Taiwan and Japan also has border. Now, there are some islands called as Senkaku or Diaoyu Islands. These islands were actually of Chinese. China was holding this. Japan defeated China and took these islands from China. 1945, when US bombarded Hiroshima and Nagasaki, these were given back from Japan, and people were expecting that it would go to China. But US took control of this. Recently, US found oil in the region and handed over these islands to Japan. But Japan is not willing to give these islands to China, because China says originally it belonged to China. So US took it from Japan, US gave it to Japan, Japan took it from China, now it is Japan's turn to give it back to China. Taiwan says this belongs to them, China says it belongs to them, Japan also says it belongs to them. So when any country claims a particular island to be theirs, what is going to happen? Around that island, 12 nautical miles will be its territorial waters. Please understand, around that 12 nautical miles will be its territorial waters. Now, Japan says this is my territorial water, China says and Taiwan says. Because of this, the overlapping is like this. Korea, South Korea also has dispute with China over Socotra rock. Japan has with respect to Senkaku Islands. Korea has with respect to Socotra rock, because of which territorial regions of all the countries are overlapping. When territorial waters of the countries overlap, the biggest issue that we normally face is ships cannot move, and also we observe aircrafts cannot move. So guys, when ships and aircrafts cannot move, when movement is prohibited, normally people will have problem in trade. So Quad is telling China, Taiwan and other countries which are trying to stop this particular area from being visited by other countries should restrain. That's what they talk about free passage in the Indo-Pacific. So if you see, because of 9-dash line, China has disputes with South China Sea countries. Because of this zone, like when territorial zones of the countries overlap, normally they will have the airspace also overlapping. What is the meaning? If island is mine, if Japan says this is theirs, other country says this is theirs, above this island in air, aircrafts also cannot move. That means air defense is also made in this region. I repeat, I'm trying to tell you, every country in the region has established its own airspace in the region. What is the meaning of airspace, guys? If you have an island, right? And if I say this is my territory, so if Japan says this is Japan's, if China says this is China's, so if any aircraft has to pass over this region, then they have to take permission of both Japanese and Chinese. If it is passing over India, they need to take permission from India. India, no dispute, so no problem. But if it is going through these Socotra rocks or Senkaku Islands, then it is disputed. Are you getting the point? Then what do we call it as? Disputed. Whenever such areas are disputed, aircraft movement is not allowed. So India and other countries are asking, please allow free movement. Whatever dispute is there, you people discuss about it in future. As of now, please allow us. You see, because of ADIZ and 9-dash line, China has problem with its neighboring countries. India and United States of America is trying to develop good relations with these countries. So Obama had his policy which was there from long, but Obama wanted to strengthen this through both economy and military terms. The economic things which they tried was Trans-Pacific Partnership, which means all the friends of US which has border with Pacific Ocean will come together under a trade bloc. In this, even India was not part. If you check, North America, South America, Australia, Asia, it has border with Pacific Ocean. Canada, US, Mexico in North America, Peru, Chile in South America. How many countries? 5 countries. Australia, New Zealand, 2 countries. Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei, Vietnam and Japan. Which are they? Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei, Vietnam and Japan 5. 5 plus 5 10 plus 2 12. This was Obama's policy to contain China economically. But this policy was aiming to threaten India as well. That's why India and China were more focusing on RCEP. But before that, I want you to know Trump withdrew from TPP. And once Trump came out of TPP, US is no more part of this TPP. Today it is only 11 countries. Joe Biden, who is the president now, was also vice president during Obama's tenure, and he was very closely monitoring these things. So there is possibility of him reviving this TPP as well. So please try to remember and read about TPP in detail. Clear? Then you see, when United States of America was focusing on TPP, ASEAN and the remaining countries in the region focused on RCEP. You had ASEAN 10 countries, China, South Korea and Japan 13 countries, plus India, Australia and New Zealand. They all focused on RCEP, which is also an economic grouping. To counter which one? TPP. RCEP also developed. India withdrew from RCEP. Remember, US withdrew from TPP because Trump did not believe in that policy. India withdrew because it was benefiting only China and Australia and New Zealand. Now, RCEP may also be back in news because of Quad. As Quad is military, RCEP, TPP are economic. You must be aware about each one of these separately. Fine? So, international organizations on all these issues will cover later. But map based, I want you to remember the countries which are part of every organization. Then, initially, India and US through Malabar exercise tried developing. Later Japan joined and today Australia is also interested. This was way back in 2006-7, but today it has been strengthened. And China publicly accepting that this bloc is little bit dangerous for them has made countries in the region to look at this organization again. Right, guys? So, Quad is not only the question, but all these issues are also important. As I keep repeating, people will only focus on certain areas. Until and unless you have knowledge of whatever happened 8 to 10 years back, you will not be able to connect. An average UPSC student and UPSC where you have diplomats and all, when you talk to them, they know the issue from the core. So, questions may date back to other issues as well. Earlier, I used to ask you people to refer to previous geography through maps, but this year, even though you feel repetitive, I would try to cover them because I feel that would help us in understanding these issues properly. Fine, guys? Thank you. Thanks a lot for watching. At last, one more announcement. We'll be starting GS online and offline batches soon. Please try to enroll quickly so that 2022 would be easier. And I will be starting geography optional both online and offline through AKS platform. So if you're interested, you can visit our website or you can call us to the following numbers. Thank you, guys.
This video is brought to you by AKS IAS.